Well, welcome, Gina.
Hi.
Hi. So excited that you're here.
I know. It's been so long.
Way too long.
Way too long. Yeah.
Yes. So, welcome to the podcast. I've known Gina since, when did we start college? 2001.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think I met you right away. I don't think I met you till 2002 or 2003.
It must have been 2002. I feel like you and Kendall shared, you had met Ashley.
Yeah.
And them.
Yep. Kendall had moved into the dorm. So we went to University of Maryland together.
Mm-hmm.
Go Terps.
College Park.
And then we had mutual friends, and then that's how we met.
Yeah.
And then senior year, we lived together on that gorgeous house on College Ave, or Dartmouth Ave. What was the name of the road?
I feel like
Was it College or Dartmouth?
I feel like it was College. We were like the last street.
Yeah, like as far as you can get from
Yeah,
campus.
I remember the walk to campus. And that just beautiful house.
That house was so gross. Like, well, you lived in the basement. So you had...
I mean, I pretty much slept with...
the centipedes.
I would like rotate whose room I was sleeping in because of the bug situation.
Those terrible bugs. I don't even know. Like, they had like those hairy centipedes.
Oh, I could not. I can't even like... I get
like
chills.
thinking about it now, like if I walked into that house,
No.
I remember how gross, because like the bathroom that I had was the hall bathroom, and everybody used that one, and I just remember it like never wanting to go take a shower in there. Like it was so gross.
No, I remember Kendall took a bath in ours. I couldn't even put my big toe in it.
Oh.
She was like, I cleaned it. I'm like, still, I cannot.
Could you ever clean that enough?
No.
I don't think so. No, and
Ooh.
then I remember like the year before we moved in that house, it was the lacrosse guy's house.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember it being even like disgusting, like obviously disgusting then because there was a bunch of guys that lived there, but like being like, we're moving in here.
Right. Like we found this great house. But you know what? The memories, right?
Yes. One of my big memories from that house is moving in because that summer before senior year, I took summer classes and I stayed for part of it. So I moved in before I think some of you guys did. And it was during that cicada season. Remember when all the cicadas were out?
Terrified of them too. I feel like I was like attacked by bugs in like a past life or something.
Well, I felt like they were coming for us big time at that house. And then the summer with the cicadas, and like they were all over the house. And then like you had to walk through campus with like a notebook to like swat them away.
Oh, horrible.
So bad.
Horrible things.
Anyways.
But it was good. Good times. Good memories.
Yes, it was. Definitely good times.
Yeah.
So we went to college at University of Maryland, graduated in 2005, May of 2005. And then and you live in Baltimore, so you live in the Baltimore area. So tell me a little bit about like growing up, like prior to University of Maryland.
Yeah, so I'm from Maryland, born and raised. I grew up there my whole life. We lived in the city, and I have like a very big family of like a lot of cousins. So all of us lived like within streets of each other. And when my grandparents passed away, we did move out into the county where I live now since I was like 8. And had a really good childhood. Like 2 working parents. I have a younger sister. And yeah.
Big Italian family though, right?
Big Italian family, yep. And yeah, it was a good childhood. Just like 80s, 90s, like running outside, like all the things that we don't really have now. And yeah, I went to high school at Delaney, and I'm still like very close with a lot of those friends. And you know how some people say like when you go to college, like that's their times. They've met like their friends that they've had for life. I feel like that was just not the case for me. Like my close friends have been like through high school, and I don't know if it's just like the situation that I had in college that just kind of made it not like a really good experience for me in some ways.
Sure.
But yeah, that's just a little bit about me.
So small, like this shows you how small this world is. So Thursday I had a hair appointment, and my hairdresser, she was like, what are you guys getting into this weekend? I was like, oh, my friend from Maryland's coming over. We're doing a podcast. And she was like, oh, where in Maryland is she from? I was like Towson area. And she was like, oh, my brother and sister live there. And I was like, oh, cool. And I said, I don't really know exactly the area, but I know she went to Delaney. And she was like, my brother-in-law has taught at Delaney for 25 years. She probably knows him. And he's like a science teacher.
Okay.
I can't remember what she said his name is. I want to say it's like Steve. I forget what the last name is.
Okay.
And I was like, what a small world. I was like, it's probably one of her teachers.
Yeah. They call it small to more for a reason. Just everybody like knows everybody, right? Or you're connected in some way. Yeah. So it's such a small world. But
yeah, I guess like the sister is like a special ed teacher, and he teaches like chemistry or physics or something. Like he's a head of the department.
Oh wow. I'm sure like I know him.
Sure, you know who he is.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
That was 2 days ago.
Okay. Gotta love the brain fog, right?
Oh, great.
The mom brain.
Great. Yeah. So then graduated from Delaney and went to Maryland.
I did, yep. Where I met like all you wonderful ladies.
Oh, yes. Yes. So one of the reasons that we thought you would be a great guest and that I think you have a story that is really amazing, and I think people that maybe know you, but I don't know if they would know the story, would have no idea, because you are not that person who's like, put me in the center of a room, give me all the attention, everyone look at me. You are not that person at all.
No.
And so I'm interested to know like maybe how many people that know you that maybe don't know the story about you in college and Brandon. So tell me a little bit about your relationship with Brandon, because you guys were dating before college, right?
Yeah. Okay. So we met in high school, and I'll never forget, they used to give out these like flowers or like something you get in homeroom, like a little secret admirer.
Would, like deliver them, like like you would buy them, and then I forgot about those.
Yes. And it's kind of like weird if you think about it, because I'm like, oh gosh, what if I don't get a flower, right?
Yeah, like how they probably don't do that kind of stuff now. Like candy grams or little flower grams.
Yes, that's exactly what it was. But I remember I got one, and it was, I can't remember what it said, and I don't even know why, because I still have it saved. But it was from Brandon, and it was like, from your secret admirer or something like that.
Aww.
And, come to find out it was from him. We had like met just like in the hall, and he was just, I guess, smitten. I don't know. But we soon after started dating. And
what grade was that?
This was in freshman year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then, we were together, but then we obviously had times where like we had broken up, and it was always him doing the breakup. I was like totally in love with him. But we always found our way back to each other. And I feel like, you're in high school, you're probably like growing. You're like, oh, like maybe what else is out there? But, he always came back. Or maybe I was begging. I don't know. I don't remember.
We'll say you always came back.
Yeah. But yeah, we always found our way back to each other. And so we dated, I say like for 6 years until his passing. But yeah, we met in high school, and, through him met a lot of his good friends who are still my friends to this day. So it was really nice.
Yeah. So he didn't go to Maryland though. Like, so when you guys graduated, you went to Maryland. Where did he go?
He did a first year in UMBC.
Okay, so
and then he transferred to Maryland.
Okay, so he was at Maryland.
Yes, he was there.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he was UMBC, transferred sophomore year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And he lived in a house with some friends, and then later moved to an apartment with another friend the second year.
Okay. I'm like, there's so many details I don't remember.
I know, right? There are a lot of gray. A lot of gray.
So when, because you were at that time, obviously like freshman year dorms, and then sophomore year, is that when you moved into the sorority house, or were you living in a different house?
I lived in the sorority house.
Okay.
So I was, a lot of our friends from high school went to College Park, but it's a really big school.
It's huge.
So I was trying to make the school smaller for me. I never thought like I'd be a sorority girl, but it really made the school smaller. And then I was also able to like meet other friends who
like outside that circle a little bit.
Exactly. Yeah. So that was really nice. But yeah, I was living in the sorority house at the time.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about, well, first of all, what did you think about Maryland pre-incident, like pre?
I liked it. You know, I'm such a homebody. I've always been that way. Like, so, you know, it was like less than an hour from my home, but I still remember when my parents like dropped me off, like crying. And I'm oh my gosh, like you have all your friends here, Gina, like your parents aren't far, but I've always been a homebody. I've always been like that. But I did like it. I did enjoy it. I have my like really good friend, Susan. We lived together and we kind of just like went through that change together. So that was really nice. And her, now husband, who was her boyfriend at the time, you know, he was established in a fraternity. So like we got to meet a lot of those friends and he kind of like helped us along. But yeah, I loved it. It's a great school. It's a fun school. I don't know that I get in today.
I don't know if I would get in today either.
But it was great. Yeah.
Yeah. It was definitely a big change for me coming from Michigan and I knew not a soul.
Yeah.
And I remember my freshman roommate was a rough go of that one.
That's always hard.
I can say we were not aligned. Not aligned at all. So that was a rough go. But then sophomore year, then Kendall and I lived together in the dorm. That
Here
was
comes
much
this redhead.
better.
And
I know this redhead that my floor she was just like, you know, Kendall.
She's the best. Yeah.
So, and then, so let's talk a little bit about that night. And I was thinking about it the other day and I was like, there's so much that I don't even remember. Like I have one flash in my head of like being on a dark street. And that's like, and then like I know people talking and then that was it. Like that's all I really remember. And I feel like I do remember one incident after that. We were all in somebody's apartment and I don't even remember whose apartment it was, but I remember everyone being like upset and that's all I remember. Like I'm like, I don't know why I don't remember any of this.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that night. So for me, it was my sophomore year, your sophomore year, I think.
So actually when the incident happened, I was not there.
Okay.
I was home for a family function. And it's so weird because I remember I had packed all these clothes, like nice clothes, like, and black clothes. It was so weird. But anyway, I was home for a family function.
What time of year was this? It was early.
This was November.
So like actually,
the anniversary of his passing was this past Monday. So like very fitting that I'm here today. This was November, and Brandon has an older brother, and he was there visiting. I believe they all went to like a football game, and then people were congregating to like at a party. Like
remember, it was we were at an off-campus party.
Yes, off-campus party. It was like a mutual friend's home, and I believe that when they got there, like the kegs were kicked. Like there was kegs back then. So people were like congregating outside as far as like what their next move was going to be. And there was 3 gentlemen who did not attend Maryland that were there, and they were looking for trouble. I don't know what their motive was or, you know, why they did what they did, but they had accused Brandon of stealing his cell phone. And Brandon at the time had this like Nokia cell
like
phone that was like almost like a you can like a walkie-talkie too, like because he worked for his dad's electrical company like in the summer and like the off season, and like they all had this phone, right?
And you would like click click, like, right? And you could talk to each other.
I guess like I just remember it being like a different phone, and Brandon was like, "Dude, like I don't have your phone. Like get out of here," you know. And then my recollection is that a fight had broke out, and one of the gentlemen had come behind Brandon and kind of like held his arms back. So Brandon was not a scrawny kid. He could definitely defend himself. But like my husband likes to say, like, you really don't really have much defense when someone has a weapon, right? Like, what can my hands do when someone has a gun type of thing? So they were holding his arms back, and the other gentleman had stabbed him, but everybody was like kind of fighting and defending themselves. So nobody knew that this had happened. And
it's not like a loud thing, like a gun goes off. You know a gun goes off. Right.
And I'm pretty sure that other people at the party had saw this gentleman with like kind of flashing this knife and
before the fight.
And I'm pretty sure it was like a knife that kind of like curved up. I don't know the correct term. But I don't know. Anyway.
I was like, do you know what it means?
But he did that. So the police had come up, I guess, to kind of see what was going on. And everybody kind of just like dispersed or ran. So some friends had run back to Brandon's apartment, and then they were like, where's Brandon? So they went back to look for him. And I think some other people had found him before his brother had gotten there. But they saw him like laying on the ground and obviously saw blood on his shirt. He had not passed at the time. So I'm really thankful that his brother was there, even though I'm sure that was really hard to be a part of or witness. But just to have somebody there that like loved him, could tell him like, you're going to be okay and I love you.
Like support him.
You know, and they had taken him to the OR and they were able to repair the damage, but he had lost too much blood. So that he didn't make it.
That night. So he was found at the scene. So at the scene of that party in College Park, I remember it was an off-campus party. And then he was transported to do you remember what hospital? Was it University of Maryland that was right there? It was not like a different hospital, or it was probably Prince George's County Hospital.
Maybe, yeah. It was early in the morning when he had passed, but yeah.
So I remember he was at the hospital, and some of his friends were there too, right? And his family had met him there.
Everyone was there, and interesting enough, I had turned my cell phone off that night, and I don't know why. And back in high school, I wasn't allowed to have a pager, but I had my own phone line.
Of course.
Well, when I went to college, my parents were like, we're not going to pay for this anymore. Like, people have cell phones, all that. So I was like, yeah, of course, makes sense. So nobody really remembered my parents' line.
Sure.
They just knew my cell phone and my old phone line. So I had no idea any of this was going on until my parents had come in my bedroom the next day because Brandon's mom, had called my parents to tell him what happened. And it's like, I remember everything about that. And then like the rest is kind of just gray or blurry. And I don't know if that's like your brain's mechanism of just protecting you or just like grief in itself. But yeah, I remember them coming in the bedroom and telling me there had been an accident. And immediately I thought it was like a family member or like my grandparents or something. And, you know, they said that Brandon was in a fight and, you know, unfortunately he didn't make it. And it's just like this shock and like disbelief. And I remember like the first thing I said was like, gosh, why does he like always have to get in a fight or something? Like it was like it hadn't hit me like what really like the gravity of the situation and like what had just happened. But I remember my first phone call was to my friend Julie. She was friends with Brandon. She has an older brother, Chris, and him and Bill are the same age, Brandon's older brother. They were best friends forever, and Julie and Brandon were really good friends. And she had lost her dad when she was in middle school, and she was like my first phone call, and she came over like right away. And then I know a lot of people had come over and like were gathering, but I just don't even remember like even talking to them or like, not to be mean, but like even in their company, like I just wanted to be with his family. Like I just wanted to understand what happened and like be with people. Like not that other people didn't have a huge loss, but like were feeling the way I felt, so.
Yeah, I totally get that. So what was, like, at that time, what was your understanding of what happened in the beginning? Just like there was a fight, there was an accident. Did you know about, like, the stabbing and all of the other things?
I didn't know those details. I just knew there was a fight, and that he was taken to the hospital and that he didn't make it. But I didn't know, like, anything else at the time.
So what was your first interaction with his family like? Was it with his brother Bill or was it with his parents?
So actually his Bill's now wife, it was his girlfriend at the time, she came and she picked me up. And I don't think she knew all the details either. But she picked me up. I like left my house, like with all my friends there, everything. And she drove me to Brandon's home with his parents. And I remember everybody had kind of like congregated there after.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was like my first interaction with them. I don't even like really remember. I remember like being there, but I don't remember like when I first saw them or like, I'm sure it was just like crying and like hugging, but I don't really remember like specifically. I just remember like being there and everyone kind of coming later.
I think it's really amazing when like that kind of stuff happens, like when somebody experiences a loss, like people just want to go and be and just be present. I don't even like, what are we going to say? What are we going to do? I don't know. We're just going to be here.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. And I'm so thankful for them. They really like carried me through like that time, but
yeah. So that was November. We were still in school, still in the middle of stuff. So I have so many questions. I'm trying to organize my thoughts. So like you were home. How long did it take for you to come back to school? I don't even remember.
Yeah. So I remember initially I was like, I'm not going back to school. There's no way. Like we had classes together. That's where he was killed. I just couldn't even fathom going back there.
Right.
I also, like you said, I don't like attention. I don't want to be walking around like
you feel like people were like looking at you like, oh my God, that's Brandon's girlfriend.
Or maybe not. Yeah. Like it's such a big school, but it was such a big deal what happened.
It was a big deal at school. It was in like the school newspaper. It was on the like the news, the local news. Like it was a big deal then.
It was such a big deal. I remember even meeting with the president of the school when I did come back. So initially I did not want to come back. I was like, I'm not going to school. There's just no way. And I feel like a lot of people were like, Gina, it'll be good for you. And I was like, whatever.
You don't know.
But, life goes on. And when people went back to school, my parents went back to work, I was like, oh,
I'm home
like it really
alone.
hit me. I was just home either like sleeping or crying or shopping. I don't know what it was. It was like it gave me that 2-minute
distraction
dopamine hit and it got me out of the house. So I spent a lot of money. But I just remember like telling my parents, I was like, I do need to go back to school. Like I'm not going to make it. And not that I ever had thoughts of like harming myself, but I was like, this isn't healthy. This isn't good. So I need to go back to school. And obviously he passed on the 10th and it was like Thanksgiving break was pretty soon after. So I went back after that.
Okay.
And then we had like winter break. So I really was not there for very long when I did go back.
Okay. And another thing that I don't really remember a lot about is the investigation and all of the like criminal legal aspects of what happened. So can you talk a little bit about that? Like what happened? Like did they I can't even remember. Like I thought it was it one or was it 2 guys or 3 guys that they arrested?
3. But 3. I think 2 that really
participated.
Yeah. I don't know, was it
accomplice?
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Like all right.
Yeah. I keep looking at him. Yeah, so we did go to trial. I can't remember how soon after. I feel like it was a year or 2 after.
So did they arrest them pretty quickly afterwards? Like, did they know who it was pretty quickly? Like, I know a lot of people saw them because they were at the party, but I feel like those 3 guys were not students.
They were not students.
But were they known to the people that had the party?
No, I don't think so. I can't remember if they just like came off the
Walked
light
in.
rail or walked
Yeah.
in, or I know they like lived in the area. So
Which doesn't, the area was the area. So
right, was the area, yeah. But I know that there was an investigation because they did find Brandon's blood on one of the gentleman's pants in the
Okay.
trunk of his car. That's
Oh,
like
wow,
the
okay.
only real detail I remember. I remember that, they did like catch them, so I'm sure there was some kind of investigation. And then I remember when we went to trial, like driving out here, like my dad would take me every day, and like we were all there.
And so your
during that
dad,
time.
if I remember correctly, is a lawyer or is involved in the legal system?
He's a
Is
lawyer.
Okay.
Mhm.
So like what would be the conversations that he would have about it? Like he obviously has the legal perspective. Like did you guys have conversations about it or
Yeah, just like I was like, oh, like what are they saying? What does that mean? So he would kind of help, dumb it down for
as I
me.
put it in like layman's terms?
Right.
Yeah.
But just a lot of the times we just like sat in silence, or just like talked about just how crazy and senseless and tragic this was. Like, was it worth it for them
Yeah, like
to do this? Like,
you took something from people that was so big and meaningful for what?
exactly.
Like it's not like a revenge thing. It wasn't like, and they didn't even know him.
No.
And like, what? I just don't understand.
Yeah.
People.
That's still like, it's still there. It just was so senseless. Like, I just don't understand.
So during the trial, how was that to sit in that room?
It was hard, just to actually hear the recounting of the events because, like I said, I wasn't there. So that was hard. There were times that I did have to leave the room when it got really detailed. It was just really hard to hear that.
Yeah.
And I know it was hard for his friends because, they were up there. I don't know what it's like to be on a witness stand. I've never, fortunately, never had to do that. But just to like try to make a defense for, for Brayden and, to be there for that. But in the end, like no one really saw him stab him. So I feel like that's why he didn't really get a lot of time in jail. Because
So what was the outcome? Yeah, I don't even remember the outcome of it.
Yeah, the one guy, the two guys got some jail time. The one that actually stabbed him got some more, but I want to say it was like 5 years. Like,
so they're already out.
Yeah.
Oh
So to take someone's life for
somebody.
5 years was not like the outcome we were expecting. And I remember his parents just being like, he didn't do like hating on us. And I was like, well, like you need to just step back and just be quiet because we lost somebody. Like, I mean, I know you're going to lose your son to like prison, but he
murdered
did this,
somebody.
right? So
he willingly took a knife and murdered somebody. Like there's choice in that.
Exactly. So I just remember I remember that, like them being like that. And I was like, wow, this is like, someone's going to get hurt. Like, and I didn't want like his brother to do anything, because that's their only son that they have left.
Yeah.
So I'm like, like, please just in my head, like, please don't do anything that would take your, like, your freedom and your life.
And I'm so, I can't like, so like with TJ's incident, we didn't have a trial. Mm-hmm. So like, I never had to see anybody. I never had to sit in a room. I never had to be close to anybody. So like, I can't imagine what you went through sitting in the same room with them. Sorry. Okay. Everything makes me cry now. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
So I just can't imagine how hard it was to sit through that. And how brave you guys were to do that.
Yeah. It was hard. I feel like I was very angry. Like I carried a lot of anger. So not so much that I was like crying a lot, just really angry.
Yeah.
So that's just how I got through my days. As unhealthy as that sounds. Just being really angry and a lot of like what ifs. So
how I know you said like you had a lot of anger. Did you ever during that time? Did you ever like see a therapist or work with anybody?
I tried, but I'm kind of keep like a lot close to my heart.
Not a
I'm
big
very
talker.
private person. I've just always been that way, and I feel like I did try, but I feel like, and I didn't try hard. I feel like she was like, "All right, Gina, like you got to give me something here." And so I haven't. I'm like in the process because I feel like I do have like a lot to unpack. In the process talking because I feel like it is really important.
Yeah.
You know, like there's medications and all of that, but I feel like it's a whole
thing.
A whole package that, you know, like there's other things that you need to like work on. So, but yeah, I did at the time, but it just wasn't either we weren't a good fit or I wasn't ready or I just wasn't really giving her much to go off of because I'm just how the person I am. I've always been like, oh, you have to be strong, Gina. Like that's just how I was raised. Like you're gonna be strong. Like you're gonna get through this. Like
yeah.
And I don't like attention, so you know.
Yeah, I can imagine it'd be hard, especially one-on-one when you're like, oh, let's talk about these really hard things, and you're like, no.
Yeah, and you're like 20 years old.
Yeah,
like,
so young.
I mean, I think that was like a really hard thing for me just to be so young, to have this huge loss. And like, really, I was looking for anybody that had been through that in my situation that I could go to for like comfort or like, it's going to be okay. You're going to get through this. Like, I've been through that. I know how you're feeling, which is why I feel like I felt closest to his family because I didn't lose a child or a sibling, but they knew
how important he was to you, yeah.
Right. Or like just being close with them really just gave me like
you're
comfort.
Part of their, like, you were part of their family for 6 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So during that process, like, what are some of the things that you felt like you did well or like looking back, like, oh, I probably should have done X, Y, and Z a little differently?
Yeah. I think everybody's like grief journey is just different.
Oh yeah, grief is crazy. Like it just shows up differently for everybody.
Yeah, and it doesn't end. You know, obviously I'm not like crying every day or anything like that. Or going like I feel like initially I would go to his gravesite. Like that's where I felt peace and closeness to him. I don't do that anymore. I do that like on special days like his birthday and things like that. But what I did well, that's a hard one. I feel like I kept showing up for myself. Like I went back to school. That was a big thing. Being there where it happened. I still stay close with my friends. I feel like I did maybe push my parents away a little bit. So I'm like that makes me sad, but also I don't know what I was doing, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't really like go out and drink a lot. I don't know if it's like I didn't want like my defenses to come down and then like, oh, I'm going to be like really vulnerable and cry here. But I feel like I did like stay in a little bit, which was probably for the best. But I also, I wasn't like talking to someone right away, but I feel like there was like a guy friend that I would hang out with, and it was just to kind of like fill a little bit of that void because I lost my boyfriend, but I lost like my best friend. Like if you think about how many times you talk to TJ in a day, you know what I mean? Like how many times did you just like sit on the phone and like in silence? I remember in high school,
we would watch TV together.
Yeah, like
watch the same show in different houses.
Right. So it's just like, I don't know if like that was the best move, and I feel like a lot of people had like things to say about that. Not that we were like
everybody
hooking
judges,
up or
like you can never. So I remember one time, and I don't know, I've never really put this one out there, but when TJ was in the hospital, I wasn't allowed to go because it was during COVID, and I didn't want to come home. I didn't want to be at home, but I also didn't want to be anywhere else. You know what I mean? Like I just didn't know where to be. And I had a hair appointment already scheduled for that week. And my hairstylist, my good friend Allie at the time was like, do you want to come? I was like, I don't know what to do. She was like, just come sit with me. So I got my hair done. And I remember sitting there being like, I don't know what I'm doing right now. And I Venmo'd her the payment. And somebody saw it on Venmo that I got my hair done. And they were like, oh my God, her husband is in the hospital and she's getting her hair done. And my friend Allie was like, you better shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, she sat here and cried the whole time. And she was sitting with a friend. So it's like, you just can't judge anybody else's grief and their path of like going through terrible things. Like, how do you? Nobody knows how to cope. Oh, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So
No.
like, it's just, you know, from people looking out in, like, they have no idea what you're going through and why you're doing that. Like, spending time with that friend is probably, you know, gave you so much relief at that time. You know what I mean? And who cares why you're doing it if you're feeling okay during it?
Yeah.
Like,
I was like, you can't judge me
that
until you've walking in my shoes. Like, you can't judge me. And everybody, like you said, everybody deals with things differently. So, yeah. That's so messed up that somebody said that.
Well, no, but I mean, even because I remember back then, like, I don't even remember that time well, but I remember Ashley being like fearful of things. Like, it's just like the way that incident at like Brandon being murdered, how that one event, like, you know, the ripple effect, the butterfly effect that it causes, and like the impact that has on everybody. It's different. It's just different for everybody.
Yeah. And I didn't even know how to be there for anybody else.
No, you couldn't.
Because I didn't know how to be there for myself, you know?
No, you're like, I'm just here. I'm like hanging on right here. Like,
yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
And that's really hard. Like when a friend group loses somebody that was a big part of that group, like how it impacts everybody.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure all the guys became very protective of Gina after that.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Everyone's like, where's Gina? You know what I mean? Everyone was very protective of Gina after that.
Yeah, definitely.
So on that same vein, like, how long did it take you to even consider or think about dating or like being out there?
Yeah, I feel like it may have been like a year after. Like, I was in the sorority, so obviously we had like
a lot of dances,
dated parties or like dances, and they would be like, oh, like, let me set you up with this person, but it never really came of anything. I just don't think I was ready. Like, I remember initially being like, I'm never going to be with anyone again. Like, how could I even fathom that?
I mean, because up to that point, he was pretty much your only, I don't want to say only boyfriend, but significant boyfriend.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was like a year or two before I like went to like a dated party with somebody, not like dated somebody. I feel like my first real boyfriend after him was after I was a nurse, like in college, like real. And I was like ready. I was like ready to like be with somebody, to like go out to dinner, to do things with, like to share my life with. But I don't know like if I really ever let somebody fully in like I had so freely with Brandon, you know? 'Cause a lot of those relationships like obviously didn't work out until, you know, I'm married now, but you know, I don't know if there's like a part of me that just never really let anyone fully in.
Okay. I get that.
Yeah. But I would say it was a while before I was in like a real relationship.
I could imagine.
Yeah.
Kind of like not even starting over, but figuring out like, where do we go from here? Like, so, I mean, I would imagine at that, I mean, so being so young, of course, I have no doubt that you're like, oh, well, obviously Brandon and I are going to be married. Like, that's the path we're on. That's where we're going. How did you like even begin to start seeing your life after that?
I don't even, it's like all a blur. I was just doing the motions in school. I don't remember like what I did. I remember shopping a lot. They'd be like, another package is here. So like, sorry, mom and dad. spend a lot of your money. But, after school ended, I didn't love college, and I don't know if that really tainted my vision of it. But after school ended, I really was like, what do I want to do with my life? Like, what do I want to be?
Did you always want to be a nurse?
No.
What would you had
I
originally
don't
wanted
know.
to be?
I was like in psychology.
Yeah, so
I don't know.
kind of a waste.
You know? So I started working at physical therapy office, and I loved it. And I was like, I think I want to be a nurse. So like work there. I was like taking the classes. I've always liked like taking care of people. And went into nursing school. So that was like, I feel like the first time I was like figuring my life out, and like what that was going to look like and like what I wanted to be.
Right.
It just took a little bit longer.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So what are some of the things that, because I know every year you guys do, I don't know if it's still going on, but I know after Brandon's passing, they do like a big Thanksgiving lacrosse game, right?
Yeah. So after his passing, his parents set up a bull roast. So it was every weekend or every year of Thanksgiving weekend. They would have a lacrosse game and then a bull roast after. And then they started a foundation at College Park where people could get like a scholarship.
I actually think my friend Laura, I think her brother may have actually gotten that scholarship one year.
Okay, that's awesome.
Another small world thing.
Right.
But he went to Maryland, I think, and got part of the scholarship, and because he also played lacrosse, and now he does something in DC. I don't even know what, something within the Navy Yard.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. So they did that, and we did that for 20 years, 20 or 21 years. It just ended 2 years ago.
Gosh, we're so old. Okay.
I know.
I'm like, how is it? It's not 20 years. What are you talking about?
I
But
know.
it is 100%.
I know. But it was really nice to like gather and be with everybody, and it was always packed. Everybody showed
like have
up
a positive thing come from such a horrible thing.
But his parents were, they live part-time in Florida now, and they were like, it's a lot. I mean, it's a lot to organize a bull roast and get, people to donate items and just the whole logistics. And they're like, we think it's time. So even though that has ended, we still get together, like Thanksgiving weekend, whoever's around, because everybody has like families and
now
or you're
older,
traveling, right? But I'm like, if anybody wants to come, this is where we're going to like get drinks, and it's just people still show up. So that's really nice. And then his family, like his parents, come over to my parents every Christmas Eve. So I really look forward to like seeing them then.
That's awesome.
But yeah, they've been doing that since Brandon passed. So it's really nice to like have them. They'll always be a part of my family. They were at my wedding, at my showers. They still like root for me and like want to be there for me and like and vice versa. So
it's amazing.
Yeah. And I like my husband now, he's very like supportive, and he's never made me feel like they can't be part of my family or, like, and he contributes things, and him and Bill are friends, and like that just means like a lot to me. So I really I found a good one. So I'm really,
such a
really
sweetie.
Thankful. So
he's such a sweetie.
Yeah.
Because that is one of the questions I had. Like, how do you? But the way you phrased it, like they're so rooting for you, like that makes it make sense. You know what I mean? Like, I think maybe I don't want to say a lesser person. That might not be the right phrasing, but maybe someone that's not as confident in like themselves or their love in your relationship might see that as like they're battling somebody that's not even there. But to see it as like they're rooting for you to be happy, like I love that.
Yeah.
Like I really do love that. And I think it's amazing that Ryan allows you that space, but like knows that your love is no different. You know what I mean? I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, it really, it's really nice, and it worked out well. But
It worked out well.
I'm so thankful they're still in my life, because they will always be like a part of my
part of your
family and
life.
like a part of my heart, and like, you know, like our parents are friends, like they're still friends with my parents, and it's really nice.
So tell me about meeting Ryan and how all that came about.
Yeah, so
he wasn't part of, like, you know, Ryan is outside of that friend group, and so many people. I feel like that group, a lot of people have married within the group. You know what I mean?
Yes, or they're like all like we're friends and still dating and like
dated in high school or you know what have you. So
yeah, and it's hard out there to date. It's really hard to find somebody.
I told TJ, I was like, listen, we are too old for this.
Yeah, you're stuck with me.
We're too old. Like at this stage in our life,
stuck with me, okay?
Yeah, we're here.
Through the PMDD or whatever it's called that we have. You're stuck with me.
Yeah, you're stuck with it. Sorry.
But we met through a mutual friend. He was someone I was like working out with at the time, and you know, just wanted to like do something like to better myself. And we met through him, and we did not have any like real mutual friends at all. So we went on a date, and I remember.
What year was this?
This was like 2013-ish.
Okay.
And or maybe before then, sometime around then. But and I remember like he brought me like this huge bouquet of flowers to like the restaurant.
Where you're like, oh my god, this is so embarrassing.
This is so embarrassing.
I can see you being like, this is attention.
I was like, what did I do? But you know, he had lost his dad, and he was like really opening up about that, and he was like, I don't know why I'm telling you this. Like, I feel like so comfortable telling you. Like, I don't really like talk about this. And we had gone out like after that, like got more drinks, and like he really pursued me. Like he did not give up. First I was like, I don't know. Like I had just gotten out of like a relationship, and I was like, I don't know, but he didn't give up on me. And he
kept showing up.
He kept showing up. And so I didn't really have that in my past relationships. Like it was just kind of like either I was like cheated on or it just wasn't really important to them. But with him, it was the opposite. So I was like, oh, like what do I do with this? You know what I mean? Like,
and I'm sure when you're not used to it, you kind of feel like, I don't really know what to do with this. Like,
yeah. Like just very thoughtful. And he's still like so thoughtful with like his gift giving. You know what I mean? It's just, that's just how he is. So
he was someone different for you.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's how we met.
Oh, sweetie Petey.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, you guys make the cutest babies.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my god! Every time I see a picture of them, I'm like, this little, like they need to be like little baby models. Like they're just the sweetest. Oh, so cute. Yeah. Their little dresses, and you know, having a boy like who would never even put on a pair of jeans. Like he's like sweatpants, t-shirt all the time, even from when he was a baby. Like, do not put me in anything nice. Like, so every time I see him in like their cute little dresses, I'm just like, oh, they're so cute. Their cute little eyes.
The girl clothes, you just can't help it.
I would be broke. I don't know how you guys do.
Yeah, but we're broke.
I would feel like I would be shopping all the time, like my broke little best friends.
Yeah, and you know when you're like up at night with the kids, like you know whatever, feeding them or late night, I'd be like just shopping. Scrolling. You know, here I am shopping again, getting that dopamine hit
for a different reason,
right?
So, what year did you guys get married?
We got married in 2016.
Okay. I was trying to think because I think I had already had Reese. Yeah, we had already had Reese. It was a beautiful wedding.
Thank you.
Beautiful wedding in Maryland. Was it at a winery? Or I know there was a barn. It was a beautiful barn.
It was at a barn, yeah. Like a farm.
So pretty.
Yeah. Yeah. I just remember the food was really good.
It was. So. It was. And I remember sitting at a table, and one of the people at the table was a vegetarian at the time. I'm not sure if she still is. But I remember her boyfriend being like, you better eat all of that because we have a long night of drinking. I just remember it was a very fun night.
Yeah.
Very fun night.
Yeah, it was good times.
I don't think we stayed the night. I think we drove home that night. I don't remember either. I can't remember.
And has home always been
here?
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So you guys got married in 2016, right? Is that what you said, 2016?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then tell me about your pregnancy journeys?
Oh, so I actually like really struggled with not getting pregnant, but like staying pregnant.
Okay.
So I had a lot of miscarriages. I actually had an ectopic pregnancy, so
okay.
I had to have emergency surgery. And I think that also contributed to, me having difficulty getting pregnant and staying pregnant. But we had Molly through IVF. And then Maggie, we're, getting ready to do it all over again. And then I just had her naturally.
Well, they say the best cure for infertility is having a baby.
Right.
So like I've seen that where like people are going through IVF, they get pregnant through IVF, and then they have natural pregnancies after that. Like your body's like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly. I was like, oh gosh. But I feel like I was like, never really took a full breath until both of them were born.
I'm
just
sure,
like waiting
after going
for
through
something
those losses,
bad to happen.
Yeah.
So
and how did you get through that? I mean, was that a tough time? I mean, I no doubt it was a tough time, but like,
yeah, I mean, the losses and the topic were like very scary and like very upsetting. And I was working with the fertility center before, and I remember like my last miscarriage, I came in and he was like, the doctor was like, "You're breaking my heart," and like, cause he just was just like a sweet man, and I knew I was in good hands, and I was like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. Like, I need to know, like, I'm putting in a healthy, like, embryo. So, like, we're doing IVF. Because he really was like, your body knows what to do. Like, we can do this. But I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, some of these meds just, like, make you crazy. And
what type of regime did you have to be on for that? I mean, like, I know IVF, you do the injections. But prior to that, what did you have to be on?
It's, like, similar to, like, IUI. Where they like put you on some kind of like hormonal pill, and it just like really ramps up
like all your estrogen production.
Yeah, like all of that, and then they're like, okay, like take this like trigger shot, and then like have intercourse. Like it was almost like a timed intercourse type of situation.
That's romantic.
Yeah, so romantic,
Like we have between 5 and 7.
Yes, just do that. So that's what it looked like before IVF. And then the IVF I didn't really find too like crazy. It was something like I was like, okay, I'm going to get like a healthy thing. I remember doing like a lot of acupuncture, really like cleaning up my diet, just anything I could control in a situation that I couldn't control. So I was like, okay, I'm going to like optimize my body the best I can, and do everything that's in my control. So when we did the IVF, it was successful.
What would be something like to people? I feel like there's so many women out there that struggle with fertility, and it's not always something that's talked about very regularly. How would you what would you say to somebody that's maybe in the struggle right now? Like, what's something that helped you get through it, and what do you think is something that might help others get through it?
Yeah, I feel like what helped me was just like just knowing like, like God's got me, and just like it's going to happen for me. And just like some people are like, oh my gosh, like I only got this many embryos, but it just takes one.
Takes one. Yeah.
And sometimes like people that get a ton, it's really not good quality. So just like, no, it's like quality over quantity. It just takes one, and like to not lose hope, because I feel like, your little angel baby is like out there for you. So waiting for you.
And I feel like so many, I mean, it's such a heart heavy thing. You want it to happen so bad that when it doesn't happen, I'm sure it's really hard, but just knowing like it's the first one isn't always the one that's going to take. I think a friend of ours, Amy, they had to go through multiple sessions, you know what I mean, for it to take and for it to work. And I'm really excited with some of the IVF and fertility things that are coming in terms of like insurance coverage, policy coverage. Like it just makes it so much more accessible for people to be able to go. It's so expensive.
So you have the stress of that, and then like the stress of the money,
and they're like, don't be stressed.
Right.
Not good for
No, it's not good. Don't be stressed. And I remember being like looking at this paperwork, and I'd be like,
how can you not be stressed?
We're never going to have kids. Like we can't, like we can't afford this. And
yeah, don't be stressed. It's just really stressful.
Right.
Like, oh my
Exactly.
God. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now you have 2 beautiful babies.
Mm-hmm.
They're so cute. Gosh.
Thank you.
Ugh. So what's it like being a mom now? Like, you know, like I know like college Gina and in our 20s Gina,
Right.
but what's like mom Gina like?
Well, I'm not perfect.
On the good days and the bad days.
I'm not perfect, that's for sure. But yeah, I love being a mom. Like I was a NICU nurse. I love babies. But I honestly like I really struggled like mentally. Not depression, but just like this anxiety. Like I had this health anxiety. So like if my kids got sick, I was just unraveling. Like so that's really hard, and I've definitely gotten better with that.
Do you think that's because you're a nurse and you see so much of it, or do you think it's just part of who you are?
I don't know. I don't know if it's like hormones or what. Like I'm good with taking care of people that I don't know. But if it's my family member or loved one that's sick, it's like everything's out the window. Like, you know what I mean? I remember my primary care being like, Gina, you have access to really good hospitals. And I was like, I know. And I tell myself this, like, but it's still, I don't know. It still
just
gets
a
me
fear,
worked
worry.
up. Yeah. But yeah, I love being a mom. They're just the best. They're so funny and fun. But I do like and need the time to myself, whether that's me waking up at 4 a.m. so I can have coffee in silence or read a book or take a walk or do something for myself. That's really important to me. And also I enjoy going to work. Like I'm like, okay, I need this time. I need adult conversation.
Yes. I need to not know
I
what's
love my
going on with
kids, but like
Bluey now.
I also need this. Like I need something for myself.
Yeah. I think it's amazing, like when we become moms, we realize how important it is to have something for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, whereas before I had Reese, I never really, like, working out, fitness was never really my thing. Like, it was like, oh, you know, it was a means to an end, right? You worked out to lose weight. And I think after Reese, as a mom, I was like, that's now my time. Mm-hmm. And like how, like like it's no longer a means to, certainly it's a means to lose weight, but now it's like a means to have time to myself, to like, for my mental health. Like if I don't work out, forget it.
Watch out.
Watch out. It's not a good day for anybody usually those days. Or it's a little rougher. But just as a mom, like figuring out how important it is to have something for yourself that is yourself. Because you're still in, like, I don't want to say in the hard times, but you're in the times where they still are relying on you for life. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I have a 12-year-old who I could probably see for an hour a day and he'd be like, I'm good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like, you know, just drive me wherever I want to go. But as, like, you're still in that.
I'm still in the thick of it.
The thick of it,
very
for
much
sure.
Very much so. I'm like, oh, this is why people have kids earlier. Because it's tiring. That's for sure. Yeah, I have Molly is 5, so she's in kindergarten.
Oh, such a good age.
So just like navigating like all of that.
The new school, like school stuff. Yeah.
And then Maggie's 2, and she's just nonstop. Like, I'm like, when is bedtime? Because you haven't sat still. Like,
how are you not falling asleep right here?
Are you tired?
I'm tired. Is it true what they say about the second one? Like the first one tricks you into having a second one, and the second one is like, oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. They're
like
definitely
personality-wise?
They're definitely different, for sure.
Yeah.
Molly's definitely like the oldest daughter, you know, like rule follower and all of that. Maggie is just like feral. Like, what is like her response when you say her name?
What?
Oh. What?
She's gonna give you a rump.
And we like sometimes Ryan and I look at each other and we're like, oh my God. Or like we like trying not to laugh, you know, when they do something that we shouldn't be laughing at, but it's so hard not to.
Oh my gosh, this is such a time.
Yeah.
Such a time. And so like now that you're, I don't want to say out of it, because like you said, grief, you're never out of it. But like, what would you say to somebody like you said you just wanted to be around somebody and talk to somebody that went through what you went through. So what would you say to somebody now if you were the person that they went to that has been through a loss like that?
Oh, that, you're not alone, and there's like that saying that time heals all wounds, but I feel like some wounds are just too big and deep for time to really heal that, because you're never going to like stop loving somebody, like
Right, just because you're not physically there.
Your child or your boyfriend or your sibling. But I think time allows us a way to work through and like deal with that grief. So, like you will get through this, and, come out on the other side. But they're always going to be like a part of your life and your heart. And there's still some things that like will trigger you, like a song or a smell or just like a memory. It just like hits you out of nowhere. But there's like so much support and so many people out there that love you. And so just keep, waking up and whatever like it is. Like if I'd be like, I brushed my teeth today, like, wow, you get a gold star, Gina. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like just any small thing like that I did for myself, I would celebrate, inside or maybe in silence. Like, okay, but
like today I was able to brush my teeth. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I'm going to brush my hair.
Right. Exactly. Just like little things. Like don't try to
take on the world the next day.
Yeah. Go all in, but just little things.
Yeah. I heard a saying one time that says like grief doesn't necessarily leave you, but it becomes an old friend.
Yeah.
Like you can sit with it now.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Where it's like, what do people say? It's like the ocean or waves. I've heard it like described as that.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like how it comes in and out or changes.
Yeah. So one of the things that we kind of talked a lot about, and like we probably communicate more through social media and memes than anything. But I think one of the things that you and I kind of are very similar in these days is like our health journey and like just trying to navigate being 40 and all the things that come with it as being a 40-year-old plus woman in this world. And I was joking the other day with somebody that like I am like the most basic 40-year-old woman. These, like I mean, like give me all my supplements, give me my weighted vest, like my walks. Like I am so basic when it comes to that. But I'm like, this is where we are now in life, and like trying to figure it out. And I feel like I don't know if maybe it's something that like we've like women our age are now talking about. I mean, I don't know if I don't remember like our mothers talking about it.
Yeah. I feel like social media too is like
huge. Yeah.
It's just so much information out there. And sometimes you're like, what should I be following or not doing? So you know what I mean? It's just we have access to so much stuff.
Oh yeah.
And like not to like digress from your question, but like I feel like when I was like struggling with like when my kids got sick, like I remember my primary care being like, before you would just go to your mom or your grandmom and be like, oh, how do I handle this? Or what did you do? And now it's like, oh, do this or do that, or like, this is what's wrong with your kid, or you know what I mean? Like we just have access to too much stuff. And sometimes I just need to like dial it in and like, but yeah, I feel like just this access to information is like maybe I don't know, maybe it's being like studied more or talked about more. Like I have the menopause book, you know what I mean? It's just like, I feel like, they were saying like back in the day, it wasn't really like studied or not well. So now they're like, okay, like there is relief for us or help for us. You know what I mean? So I think that is huge.
Oh yeah. What are some of the things that you're doing now. Like, again, you know, in our 20s, we were drinking jungle juice from a trash can.
Right.
Ugh. And now I'm like, oh my God, don't drink from that plastic cup. Microplastics are bad for you. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? I'm like, oh. So what do you feel like you're doing now that maybe is different?
I definitely, I work out with a trainer, so that's like really important to me. So I'm doing that. Love my weighted walk. Yes. You know, I live like a 80-20. Like I definitely have like healthier things in the house, but then there's times where I'm like eating, you know, pizza and wings, and
Oh, yeah.
my kids have goldfish hanging from their mouth. You know, like I really just try to choose my battles, but I do try to have like them get some like healthier things, and I'm just more aware. You know, working like just struggling with fertility and working. I was an oncology nurse for a while, just seeing like younger and younger people like being diagnosed with cancer too. Like it's not even just about like my hormones or like my health journey, but I was like, oh, whoa, like why is this happening? Like with no family history, I'm like, is it things we're exposed to in the environment? So it just really like has opened my eyes to like what I'm putting in my body and on my body, and like for my kids too. So I feel like I've definitely like along the way made like healthier, cleaner swaps in my home.
Right.
And I feel like that, you know,
So
just
like
little things.
not only like your diet. I mean, your diet is. Somebody explained to me the other day, like diet is everything that you are exposed to, right? So we think about food as part of our diet, but we also need to think about like what you hear, what you see, what you feel, what you touch. And like, you know, one thing I don't even think about is like, you know, I love the laundry detergent that smells so good, but I'm like, what are all the chemicals in it that make it smell good? And then now that's on my body 24 hours a day.
Right.
And like, so one of the swaps I've made recently is like the free and clear, like everything is dye free, and it doesn't smell as good, but I feel a little bit better about putting it on, or like the cleaners that I use or things like that. That's a big
just
swap.
like little things really make a difference. If you are looking for one that smells good, Truly Free smells so good.
Okay.
And it's good.
I'll look into it.
Yeah. But yeah, just making like little changes really adds up.
I know like one of the guys that the dad of one of the kids used to play baseball with, he's really into that. And I know like it's so funny. You can always tell who are the ones listening to the podcast and like doing different things, because here he comes with his giant metal water bottle and like, you know, swapping out like the foods and the different things, and like, you know, we have the conversations. But one of the conversations we had was about how like younger and younger people are being diagnosed with cancer, like you said, with no familiar link, no genetics, like, and like what is it that's like, especially women, like higher rates of breast cancer with no like familiar link, or like
colon cancer is really on the rise. Like people in their 20s like are getting it. Like,
is pancreatic cancer also on the rise, or I'm thinking of prostate cancer? I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm not too sure about like either of those. I know pancreatic cancer is just like so deadly because
it takes
you don't
so
really
long
like
to diagnose.
right, exactly. But the colon cancer is really scary.
Yeah.
People younger and younger. It's just, and they haven't really like found why. They're like definitely researching it, but it's wild.
Yeah.
Really scary.
Yeah. And then like, so the population I work with, so I work for Medicaid, and I manage a team of case managers that go out and see people in their homes with chronic illnesses. And so like the rates of like diabetes and COPD and like all of those medical, like, you know, really chronic conditions that are so lifestyle driven. Like I think we're seeing like that older population that is suffering from a lot of those. And I think you see the younger population being like, oh my God, I don't want to do that. Like I don't want to be 65 and attached to oxygen and not be able to get up from the chair and walk. Like,
yeah, it's really eye-opening for sure.
Yeah.
But then you have like, I see these young girls like shopping at Sephora or just like dousing themselves in like perfumes or like things that maybe they're going to like, they do disrupt their hormones. And like, it's just, you know, it's just, they see that like through social media or what their friends have. And like, trust me, girl, I would
I was
go in that
100%
Bath
in
and
there.
Body Works and spray that all over me now. Now
Laying
it
in
would
the
like give
tanning
me
bed
like
as much
a
as
migraine.
possible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
And now I'm like sunblock everywhere.
I know. But like, I'm like, oh man, I really do miss laying in that tanning bed. It was the best when you got up to like 30 minutes and just had the music playing.
It was so warm. Like,
yes.
I'm so old now that I'm like, anything warm is amazing.
Yes.
I'm like, I'll go sit in the sauna. Like,
Yes. But it's just, we didn't know.
No. And then, I wonder now what we're doing that'll have that
Exactly.
impact. I worry about all these I don't want to maybe fly by night, but quick fixes that I feel like people are very much into because they're results driven.
Mm-hmm.
And like, how do we know what those long-term impacts will be on, like fen-phen, back in the day was the rage for people to lose weight quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And then now you see all these lawsuits for the impact of that, what that had for people that took it. I'm concerned about what that's going to mean long-term for people.
And I feel like the GLP-1s are huge. And it's probably really tempting, right?
Oh, but it's 100% tempting.
But also, like, I feel like if you're doing that, like, you should be working with
it has to be twofold.
Nutrition, like how to eat right, and also like lifting weights because you're losing muscle.
Mm-hmm.
And as we get older, we need that. Like, what if you like broke a hip? Like,
that
hip's just not going to repair. Like,
no,
you
and
need
like
that
as a nurse,
muscle.
like so that like when what we're taught as like a case manager is if you break a hip, there's like it's 25, like like 25% of people will be okay. 25% of people will have moderate impairment, like they need a walker, a cane, something like that. 25% won't survive. 25% will be bedbound.
Wow.
Like how do you know what I mean? So like, especially as a woman through menopause, like osteoporosis, like that's where it starts. And like you need to fight harder to keep muscle mass, to keep bone health. Like it's so important.
It's so important. I just feel like you're just like skinny, but like,
well, that's and like
be strong.
Oh my gosh, I was having this conversation with another podcast guest, Rachel. Like we're taught for so long to be as skinny as possible, right? At any cost. And to me, unfortunately, I feel like the GLP-1 is part of that conversation of at any cost. Like you're losing muscle mass. Granted, yes, you're losing fat, but you're also losing significant muscle mass. And like you're putting yourself at risk. And again, get smaller. Like I would rather be bigger and stronger, knowing that I'm going to have that health for the rest of my life.
Absolutely.
Like, would I like to be smaller? Sure. But I also like to be strong. So sometimes those two things don't go hand in hand.
No. And if you are on it, like definitely lift some weights.
Yeah. Like if that's the path you're taking, because I don't want to judge anybody for their path, but please be protective. Like,
absolutely.
Lift weights, eat protein, please.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I know. I feel like a friend of mine sent me a meme the other day. She was like, in my 40s, I've never been bullied by so much cottage cheese in my life.
Oh my gosh, right?
Like everything is made with cottage cheese.
I know. Just to get that protein in, right?
I'm like, okay. Oh.
Yeah.
Like I can blend it and eat it now. But.
Right. The stuff we do.
But so your journey as a nurse, what has that been like?
It's been good. I've been a nurse for like 17 years now.
Wow. Okay.
Dabbled in different things. So it was like a cardiac nurse, worked in the OR. I worked in the NICU with little babies, which I loved. And I worked very briefly as a pediatric hospice nurse.
Oh, bless your heart.
That was really hard.
Oh, I bet.
But I also feel like what an honor to be in their family's home at like the worst time of their life, but
and give them comfort and care.
That was just really, it was a wonderful time, but it was really hard for me.
Sure.
And then I worked in oncology and, now I work in kidney transplant. I'm a coordinator.
Okay.
I help people get on the list for a transplant. And I've loved like everything I've done. I think like that's what I love about nursing is like there's so many different avenues that you can do, and just met so many in each thing amazing coworkers and patients and families, and some that I'm still like friends with, and So it's just been a really
Yeah.
good path. I really like being a nurse. So
Yeah. Any crazy stories?
gosh. So when I worked in pediatric hospice, we did a lot of home visits,
Mm-hmm.
and we would see patients all over. So
sure.
I remember seeing a patient in Baltimore City, and it was a house. It was, they were very poor, and like the windows, I remember some were boarded up. And I was like, okay, like just go in there and do this. And I remember being in there, and the mom was like she was just very angry of like the situation.
Sure.
And so like at times like they would take it out on you. And I remember her taking it, and I was like, that's okay. Like, it's not
I'll
me.
take
It's
it,
just, she's just projecting. So at this time where she's yelling at me, all of a sudden she's like, get down. There was like shots being fired.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, this is how I'm going to leave this earth,
Like,
being
this-
yelled at.
This is how I'm gonna die. Being
And
yelled at
shots
in-
fired. And then I remember like, a lot of screaming. And then like she had opened the door, and like quickly police were there. And she was like, okay, you can go now. And I'm like, are you sure? Like, am I
allowed
good?
to?
Like,
am I gonna get
am
shot?
I going to get
walking
shot
out?
again? And
Oh
I
my
just
God.
remember like running to my car, and I was like, you are not going to believe this day that I have survived, and I'm going to need like a big bottle of wine and something else.
my
Like,
gosh.
but that's like one that will always stick with
Home
me.
care
But I'm like,
is another beast, isn't it?
another beast. That is for sure. I was like, do I need like a vest now? Like a bulletproof vest? Like, am I good?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
But that was wild. That was a wild time.
Yeah. Home care is like going into people's homes and providing services is just a whole nother
Yes.
thing.
Yes.
I applaud anybody that does any field-based treatment. Like, shoo.
It's so hard. And you don't know what you're walking into. And if you're
Ever.
like alone.
No, especially when you're like walking to a house and you're like, oh, who'd you live with? Nobody. But you can hear somebody upstairs and you're like, who's upstairs?
Yeah.
Nobody. You're like, okay.
Right.
We're going to hurry up and do this.
Yeah. Right.
We're going to get through this real quick.
Right.
I know sometimes places I would go, I wouldn't tell TJ till after I left.
I'm sure.
Because it's like the area that he patrolled. And sometimes when I did tell him where I was, I could see his drug car go by. And I'd be like, stop.
I needed you. I needed you that day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Home care is a whole different beast.
Yeah.
but
Yeah, that's probably the craziest story I have.
That's pretty crazy,
Yeah,
though. I mean,
I
not
know.
every day are you in like a drive-by shooting at work? I mean,
Get down. I'm like, oh my gosh, here we go.
like, is this really
Probably
happening
like a
right
mouse like rolling on the floor. I'm like, okay, don't scream. Like, right.
now? Okay. Oh, my
Oh
gosh.
Lord, the stuff we go through, right?
No. Well, I'm so thankful that you came out today and took time out of your weekend to come all the way to Delaware, little Delaware,
Yeah, it's so good
and
to see
spend
you
time
guys.
with me. I
Yeah.
know it is so good to see you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
And I'm so thankful that we are in our lives where we are now in our lives. And I'm so thankful that you have love and happiness and the cutest little babies and all the things.
Well, thank you. You have a beautiful family too.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. Thanks
Yeah.
for coming.
Yeah.